The announcement of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet surprised me. Why the hell did Game Freak think it would be a good idea to release two games in the same year? Is it money? Oh wait, why am I even bothering to ask this? Of course it is. It's because Game Freak knows that people like me will buy every game regardless of the quality and then still enjoy it regardless. There are so many Pokemon games that I enjoyed solely for the reason of me being a Pokemon fan. Except for Let's Go and BDSP. Those games are shit, and even if a shill such as myself can admit that, then there's a problem. Now, I know since Game Freak employees are under harsh working conditions, they're going to have some blunders, so stop rushing the damn games. I'm not an ape. I can wait for the next installment. It's called being a Mario or Zelda fan. I'd prefer to have a life-changingly good game every few years as opposed to a game which is just good every year. I expect more from Pokemon, so why the hell doesn't Pokemon expect more of itself? It feels weird to ask this though because I've already answered my own question. It's because of me. Me and people like me are the problem. We're letting Pokemon games get worse. I thought this wouldn't be the case after I played Pokemon Legends Arceus. The game is rough around the edges, but it respected the wishes of Pokemon fans and addressed many of the complaints people had with Pokemon Sword and Shield. It seems like Scarlet and Violet will be the same way, which has me excited to play them, but I'd be more excited if I had to wait a year for a better game. It's not like this is a problem either. The Pokemon anime has added several shitty filler arcs just to accommodate the games, and the cards will always be profitable. I think that's why the rushing of these games does nothing but confuse me. I'm even more confused too because I thought that Game Freak would finally fix this issue by outsourcing BDSP to a new studio. Sure, it was a bizarre idea to outsource it to Ilka, who did nothing but the disappointment of Pokemon Home, but outside of that, it was a great idea, as even though BDSP is a disappointing shithole, it would still keep Pokemon fans satisfied while we waited for the next installment. That next installment came just a few months after BDSP. Why didn't you delay Legends Arceus? This was the perfect opportunity to do so, and we would have been able to wait. Even though I love the hell out of the game, I can't even imagine how much better it would have been with a holiday release. Instead of Game Freak using their help from Ilka to produce better games, they used it to produce more games, and that's a damn shame. Game Freak makes Activision look like Nintendo with how many games the Pokemon series has been pumping out. I didn't even realize all this though until Scarlet and Violet were announced for a 2022 release. I assumed that Legends Arceus was only released so early so it could help BDSP sell better, but it was instead because Game Freak had yet another game they were working on. So, now that we've explained the context surrounding its announcement, let's go over my thoughts on Scarlet and Violet before they're released. I've already made this obvious, but the first trailer surprised me. I was not expecting a new Pokemon game to come out this soon, so I was legitimately hyped when I saw how promising it looked. The biggest takeaway was, of course, the graphics, which are a massive improvement over Legends Arceus. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still a far cry from what they should be, but at least the Pokemon now have new textures, which make them look far more alive. As for the landmarks, it's true, Pokemon is now finally an open world game, and that's so exciting. Legends Arceus teased what an open world could look like, so it's so cool to finally have it. Tragically, the catching mechanics from Legends Arceus won't be making a return, but the second trailer confirms that battles will be looking very similar to how they do in Legends Arceus, which is great. Sword and Shield has very wooden and boring looking battles, while the battles in Legends Arceus were a lot more fast-paced and dynamic. Not only were the animations sped up, but they also took place in the overworld, which helped significantly with building immersion. Unfortunately though, I don't think the world looks as good as the new Pokemon textures. I still think they're better than Legends Arceus, though. Everything in that game just looked desaturated and ugly. Meanwhile, Scarlet and Violet have a far more colorful look, which makes its unpolished look seem more like a stylistic choice. While I would praise the textures for returning Pokemon, though, I don't think they look as good on the new Pokemon. Speaking of the new Pokemon, I don't like any of them. This is the first time I've never liked any of the starters, and this is very easily the weakest trio I've seen. Another thing that Gen 9 does the weakest, though, is the human designs. Pokemon has a tendency for great human designs, and while a waifu tier list video is inevitable because of this, all you gotta know for now is that these designs are absolutely amazing. How Legends Arceus came out in the same year and has two of the best human designs, with Automon looking like an absolute badass and Irida being adorable as hell. When that game has such great character design, it baffles me that the humans look so bad in Scarlet and Violet. To be fair though, the professors look decent, and this is mostly an issue with the protagonist designs, but it shouldn't be an issue. Despite having no real personality, Pokemon protagonists have excellent designs, and when these look more like Yokai Watch characters than Pokemon characters, then you know you've screwed up. I guess that translates to the other designs, which just haven't done it for me. In general, modern Pokemon designs simply aren't my cup of tea. I'm not a Gen 1er, by the way. My favorite designs come from Gens 4 and 5, so I guess that given what I like, Gen 8 and 9 designs just haven't done it for me. Not gonna lie though, I don't even mind this. I've had 7 generations of amazing Pokemon designs, so if some of them don't rock my boat, then I honestly don't mind. I particularly don't mind because the new legendaries look awesome. These are the coolest legendaries since Gen 6, so if that isn't high praise, then I don't know what is. Koraidon has become one of my all-time favorites. It just looks that cool, and Miraidon's kinda mid, not gonna lie. So I guess the last thing to mention would be the confirmation of Toxapex. Well, I'm never playing this game competitively. I guess now, though, I'm wondering why I wrote this. I never cared enough about the controversy of prior Pokemon games to comment on them, so why do I care so much about this one? I think it's because I'm finally starting to have enough of Game Freak's bullshit. Sure, I'm not quite at the point of boycott yet, which may make this video seem completely pointless. To be honest, this video is pointless. It's just me venting out my frustrations. I've been waiting for years to have Game Freak finally listen to the fans, and while they're not doing nothing, I still don't think they're doing enough, and I've had it with that. Anyhow, I'm curious how you feel. Everyone seems to have different opinions on these games, as they're quite possibly the most contentious. While reaction to Sword and Shield before release was mostly negative, and while Legends Arceus garnered a mostly positive reaction, Scarlet and Violet seem to be right down the middle. As such, I hope you enjoyed listening to my ramblings. Anyway, I'll be seeing your assholes later. And I did mean it like that.